Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Before we begin, we have a few reminders for this morning's parade. During the playing of the national anthem and the Air Force song, it is appropriate for all members of the audience to stand. During the national anthem, and as the American flag passes during review, military members in uniform should stand at attention and salute. Civilians should stand and their heart. Members not in uniform may render a salute or place their right hand over their heart. After the last note of the national anthem and after the American flag has passed, you may then return your hand to your side. Applause is appropriate as the flights pass in review, but please limit the applause so that others may hear the narration of the names and hometowns of the airmen leading each flight. At this time, we ask that all electronic devices be silenced. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I am Staff Sergeant Jalen Grant, and on behalf of the Commander, 81st Training Group, Colonel Michael Powell, welcome to today's 81st Training Group Pass and Review Parade. Please stand for the arrival of our official party. Please be seated. Our official party for today's parade includes our host, the Commander, 81st Training Group, Colonel Michael Powell, accompanied by his spouse Shirley and family and friends Dave and Kim Hardy, and the Senior Enlisted Leader, Chief Master Sergeant Joshua Ziriak, accompanied by his spouse Christy. The morning's guest speaker, the Commander, 81st Training Wing, Colonel Billy Pope, Jr., accompanied by his spouse, Amanda. We would also like to welcome the Mayor of Biloxi, the Honorable Fofo Gillich, accompanied by his Chief Administrative Officer, Mr. Mike Leonard. Field Representative, Office of Senate, Cindy Hyde-Smith, Wynn Ellington. Field Representative, Office of Congressman Mike Ezell, Stephen Strickler. The Commander, 81st Medical Group, Colonel Peter Koulis, and the Senior Enlisted Leader, Chief Master Sergeant J.C. McDuffie. The Commander, 81st Mission Support Group, Colonel Jason Kabul, accompanied by his spouse, Melinda, and the Senior Enlisted Leader, Chief Master Sergeant Jamie Munn. We also extend a warm welcome to all commanders, Chief Master Sergeants, First Sergeants, community partners, and Team Keesler. Thank you for being with us today. Today, in a time-honored tradition, airmen from the 81st Training Group will showcase their drill competencies by executing a pass and review parade with precision marching promptness in responding to commands, and teamwork. The commander of troops for today's parade is the Deputy Commander, 81st Training Group, Lieutenant Colonel James Roberts. His staff includes Technical Sergeant Daniel Phelps, Staff Officer, and Staff Sergeant Tiffany Betancourt, Group Adjutant. The squadron commanders are the 333rd Training Squadron Commander, Lieutenant Colonel Anthony Meadows, the 334th Training Squadron Commander, Lieutenant Colonel Elizabeth Vaccaro, the 335th Training Squadron Commander, Lieutenant Colonel Christopher Donahue, the 336th Training Squadron Commander, Lieutenant Colonel Beverly Fulgencio, and the 338th Training Squadron Operations Officer, Captain Dustin McClure. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the singing of our national anthem by the 81st Training Group's Dragon Choir.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hail at the twilight's last gleaming,
whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming.
And the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there.
oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet
Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Thank you for that beautiful rendition of the National Anthem Dragon Choir. Ladies and gentlemen, the commander, 81st Training Group, Colonel Michael Powell.
Good morning, everyone. Mayor Gillich, Mr. Ellington, Mr. Strickler, fellow group commanders, chiefs, community partners. Thank you for joining us on such a beautiful morning. And Mayor Gillich, I know you said you would not take credit for the weather, but this is some of the best that Biloxi's had to offer since I've been in command. 107 days that I've been in command, and not one day has gone by in those 107 that I haven't expressed just how proud I am of the faculty, the staff, and the trainees that come through the group, and then the quality of the trainees, of the warriors that we end up putting out to the force. I'm proud of our group, and I'm excited about what you've already accomplished. I'm even more excited about all the great things that you will accomplish.
Hopefully.
I'm the first to acknowledge that it takes a team of professionals who are passionate about their identity as warriors, their heritage as airmen, their skill, and their assigned specialty. But I want to turn the podium over to someone who embodies these traits, an air-minded warrior who is one of the best in the business. Ladies and gentlemen, our wing commander, Colonel Billy Poe.
Well, good morning, Dragons. I honestly couldn't picture a better way to start a Friday morning than this, so I'll double down, Juice, on the things that you've said. Unless maybe it involved a fishing pole or a golf club or some tropical beach, but we're not far from the beach, are we? We're just right around the corner from the beach. And none of these things are the places have the finest airmen and guardians and Marines and sailors on Earth, except us. And so overall, I think it's clear that this is exactly where I would want to be regardless of any circumstances, and it's on a perfect morning nonetheless. I'd like to begin by extending our deep gratitude for our distinguished visitors that we've mentioned and so many others. Mayor Gillich, Mr. Ellington, Mr. Strickler, Miss Adele Lyons, I think I saw, all of our honorary commanders who are here. Thank you so much. Your presence here today exemplifies the unwavering support and the commitment that fuel our mission. You know, Mayor Gillich often calls us his Keesler cousins, and I love it. I might go on to say that we're fortunate to have our Gulf Coast wingmen here in our Air Force terms, alongside us, keeping this unbreakable bond between Biloxi and the surrounding community and Team Keesler. I also want to recognize our Dragon leaders from our mission support group, our medical group, our training group, our wing staff agencies, and so many others for coming out to celebrate this honored tradition with us. There's two individuals that I want to specifically acknowledge this morning. That's Chief Master Sergeant Ziriak. He's an exemplary leader and a professional who currently balances two vital positions in our wing as both the training group senior enlisted leader and the acting wing command chief for the time being. He's an airman's chief in the most poignant way. He's dedicated to improving the lives and the effectiveness of our airmen across our whole base. Thank you, Chief, for your relentless dedication. As you look out at this formation of America's sons and daughters, I hope you feel a sense of responsibility mixed in equal parts with the profound opportunity to represent them, embolden them, and train them for our demanding mission. Equally deserving of recognition is our outstanding training group commander, Colonel Michael Powell. The most successful organizations are guided by strong, visionary leaders, and Colonel Powell's leadership is exactly that. His expertise and forward-thinking vision have been instrumental to put the training group in a position to adapt and evolve to the global landscape that we face. He's a remarkable leader, and we're fortunate to have him at the helm. You know, the genesis for the event today really started with the fact that we didn't get to formally welcome Colonel Powell and his family, Shirley in particular, in the customary fashion. We got rained out for our change of command. And it grew from there, however, into an event that's orchestrated by our airmen and for our airmen, with some fantastic activities to follow, not just the pass and review, but the pass and review and rendezvous. So not only do we get to formally welcome Colonel Powell in the way that we should, but we get to show our airmen and our partners what it looks like at the core of our rich culture as airmen. And I'm humbled to join you today as we partake in this time-honored tradition of a pass and review. This ceremony is far more than a demonstration of precision. It's a moment for us to reflect on the heritage, celebrate our achievements, and most importantly, to reaffirm our commitment to the mission and to one another. I like to think that on Little Round Top and in the trenches of World War I and across the history of our force, a similar scene has taken place, and we represent that today. Over the past year, the 81st Training Wing has achieved remarkable milestones, and the training group has been pivotal to that success, whether they're reaching critical training objectives or cultivating a culture of excellence. Your dedication has been the foundation of our accomplishments. You've leveraged advanced technology in the classrooms to transform the way that we train from the ground up. At the same time, in collaboration with our human performance teams, we've led implementation of key initiatives like sleep studies and tailored physical training, preparing our airmen and guardians to meet the physical demands of the force that they'll enter. Engaged today in great power competition. Beyond the innovation in training, we must not overlook the invaluable mentorship that's provided daily by our instructor cadre and our military training leaders. They are shaping the next generation of service members who stand before us. As we celebrate these successes, we must remember the vital role that the 81st Training Wing plays in delivering highly capable personnel to the farthest reaches of the globe. Much like the Biloxi Lighthouse stands as a beacon on this beautiful Gulf Coast, our wing serves as a beacon of excellence in training and education, producing airmen who will lead diverse fields across our force. Training is the core of our mission. But why do we train? The answer is simple. The security of our nation depends on it. The knowledge and skills imparted by our instructors prepare our airmen not just for their immediate duties, but for long, dynamic careers. They foster adaptability and resilience and readiness for any challenge. This foundation of training is more critical now than ever as we navigate the complexities of our global landscape. If Iran, North Korea, Russia, or China could replicate one thing, it would not be our technology. It would not be our scheme of maneuver. It would be the soul of our force that exists in our enlisted corps. The fact that patriots volunteer and they're molded into professional technicians and leaders who are willing to put their service above themselves with integrity and excellence. The 81st Training Wing's contribution to this global effort are indispensable. As our geopolitical landscape shifts, our airmen must be prepared to operate in an increasingly complex and unpredictable world. The education and training provided here will equip them to excel, ensuring that the United States remains as a global leader for freedom. Our adversaries and competitors may try to copy our technology, but they will never capture the essence of what you see in front of you today from every corner of our nation. And it's worth noting that none of the training group's successes would be possible without the unmatched support from our mission support group and the readiness enabled by our medical group. These exceptional professionals maintain our facilities, provide our transportation, defend our installation, manage our personnel actions, sustain operational networks, resolve medical and dental issues, rehabilitate our people, and they care for our families. You know, I've spoken of us as a team, an organization, a unit, whichever term you prefer. This is how we train, and this is how we fight. But let's not forget, these large entities are made up of individuals, each with their own background, a perspective, and a story. And that holds true for each and every member of our formations today. They come from Florida and Iowa and California and other countries, and many even right here in Mississippi. They come from big cities and small towns. They're technological wizards, They're athletes. They are, to an individual, critical thinkers and problem solvers who are going to make us better. I admire their decision to join our force, and I admire the families for loaning us their passions and their efforts at such a high cost. Teammates, you are our nation's competitive advantage. You are the ones who will learn and grow and solve problems for tomorrow. As we celebrate you collectively, do not lose sight of the strengths that you bring as individuals and the unique contributions that you make to our nation. Whether your journey at Keesler is just beginning or nearing its end, the learning never stops. For both the instructors and the students, personal and professional growth is a lifelong pursuit. As technology evolves and battlefields change, so too must we. By continuously honing your skills, fostering curiosity, and pushing the boundaries of what you can achieve, you will ensure that we remain the world's premier Air Force. So let me close with this. When I assumed command of this wing, the gravitas of this opportunity and the responsibility didn't fully hit me until that bass drum set the course for our airmen to march in a pass and review in a similar event. And to this day, that drum gives me chills. I hope each and every one of you today feel the same, along with the pride and the excitement that come with seeing our professionalism, the precision, the unity that simply makes us who we are. Thanks to everyone who's here today. It's because of your dedication that we stand strong. Thank you all, and keep breathing fire, Dragons. I'm proud of you.
Thank you, Colonel Powell and Colonel Pope. Ladies and gentlemen, please enjoy the 81st Training Group's Pass and Review Parade. And now, passing in review. The Commander of Troops, Lieutenant Colonel James Roberts from Pearl River, Louisiana, and his staff, Technical Sergeant Daniel Phelps and Staff Sergeant Tiffany Betancourt. The 333rd Training Squadron Commander, Lieutenant Colonel Anthony Meadows from Dallas, Texas, and his staff, Master Sergeant Nicholas Navieu and Staff Sergeant Bracken Caddick. AMAS, led by Airman First Class Noah Zabul from San Antonio, Texas. The 334th Training Squadron Commander, Lieutenant Colonel Elizabeth Vaccaro from Lakewood, Washington, and her staff, Senior Master Sergeant Simon McCabe and Staff Sergeant Ashton Norwood. AMAS, led by Airman Basic Jeffrey Abasti from Lomé, Togo. BMAS, led by Airman Basic Christopher Brzezinski from Las Vegas, Nevada. CMAS, led by Airman Basic Alhaji Sako from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. DMAS, led by Airman Ashley Mendez from Flemington, New Jersey. The 335th Training Squadron Commander, Lieutenant Colonel Christopher Donahue from Lubbock, Texas, and his staff, Chief Master Sergeant Robert Ross and Staff Sergeant Ken Hansen. AMAS, led by Airman Basic Jairo Santiago from La Puente, California. BMAS, led by Airman First Class Octavius Ardenez from Rancho Cucamonga, California. CMAS, led by Airman First Class Nalea Bradley from Niagara Falls, New York. DMAS, led by Airman Basic Dentasia Moore from Orlando, Florida. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand as the colors pass in review and remain standing until the state flags have passed you. Color Guard, led by Airman Maximilian Quinlan from Greenwood, Arkansas. The 336 Training Squadron Commander, Lieutenant Colonel Beverly Fulgencio from San Diego, California, and her staff, Senior Master Sergeant David Phillips and Staff Sergeant Gabriel Lentz. I repeat, the 336 Training Squadron Commander, Lieutenant Colonel Beverly Fulgencio from San Diego, California, and her staff, Senior Master Sergeant David Phillips and Staff Sergeant Gabriel Lentz. BMAS, led by Airman Basic Kaden Brown from Yermo, California. CMAS, led by Airman First Class Arlette Rivera Rodriguez from Puerto Rico. DMAS, led by Airman First Class Aiden Skelly from Galloway, New Jersey. The 338th Training Squadron Operations Officer, Captain Dustin McClure from Andrews, North Carolina, and his staff, Chief Master Sergeant Jeffrey Salo and Technical Sergeant Brittany Banks. AMAS, led by Airman First Class Tierra Moreno from North Fond du Lac, Wisconsin. BMAS, led by Airman Julian Gonzalez from Miami, Florida. CMAS, led by Airman First Class Brandon Spivey from Wetumpka, Alabama. DMAS, led by Airman First Class Isaac Ramirez from Little, Texas. Ladies and gentlemen, today's musical support was provided by the 81st Training Group's Drum and Bugle Corps, led by Airman First Class Samantha Herman from Columbia, Illinois. Please stand for the playing of the Air Force song and remain standing for the departure of our official party. Off we go into the wild blue yonder, climb me high into the sun. Here they come, zooming to meet our thunder. Hell of a road. Live in fame and go down in flames. Hey, nothing can stop the U.S. Air Force. This concludes our ceremony. Please join us for drinks and refreshments at room 152. The 81st Training Group's Rendezvous Morale event will begin at 1100 for all Training Group personnel and family members. Thank you for attending and have a great day.